The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Your book of life will buy you a mile except in my free mind will keep me from under your spell. And when we die, you'll be another angel in heaven, but me, I'll be a fucking legend in hell. Your book of life will buy you a mile except in my free mind.
Do you have a hankering for horror knowledge?
We have such sights to show you.
Do you require raging retro reviews? Do you desire discussions with devastatingly dashing dorks? The Dorkening Podcast Network has nearly 30 shows to satisfy all of your nerdy, geeky, and dorky needs, from horror reviews and celebrity interviews.
Hi, I'm Adam Green, the director of the Hatchet films and the star of Holliston.
Hi, this is Dominic Pace, who played the bounty hunter Gecko from The Mandalorian.
Hi, I'm Mike Price. I'm a writer on The Simpsons. I co-created F is for Family.
Hi, guys. This is Dee Wallace from E.T. and Cujo.
Hi, my name is Kurando Mitsutake, director of Gun Woman and Karate Kill.
Hi, this is Samantha Newark, the voice of Jem and Jerrica from the original Jem and the Holograms cartoon series.
As well as nostalgic trips into the past, pop culture, the latest in entertainment news, and so much more, featuring a variety of shows and hosts that will simultaneously enrage, enlighten, and entertain you. Check out the Dorkening Podcast Network.
My mom says I'm cool.
Available on iTunes, Spotify, thedorkening.com, and wherever fine podcasts can be found.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
And happy Wednesday. We're now live for another episode of Still Token With. And I want to remind everybody we have a contest we're going to be awarding at the end of the hour, which is the CBD and Mask giveaway. So make sure you check out the show notes and all the awesome people that put that together while it's Still Token With. And also, I forgot who made the mask and CBD, sir.
Well, you're fired.
I am.
The CBD actually was from Hempt MA, which is Ralph and Allie Greenberg here in Mass. And the masks were made, I can't remember the name of the company, but they were given to us by Tim and Lily Shaw from Green Matters.
Awesome. And I got the links in the show notes and the link to the contest. So make sure you go and fill it out. Right.
Awesomeness.
Right. We pick a winner for that one tonight, correct?
Winner, chicken dinner.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Right.
And we start the new giveaway tonight, right?
Yes, we do.
For another week. Okay.
Yeah. We got the new one going out tonight. That's going to be a limited edition Can Man print. So, yeah, disconnect to reconnect. Perfect for right now.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
We got some guests here. They're a little noisy.
They're fucking loud as shit back there.
Well, they're banging around in the kitchen. What do you expect?
So for the banging around in the kitchen, we're getting our food ready, so it looks all great when we do this.
I couldn't hear him.
See Pat in the back there. We got some mushroom action happening back there right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what are you guys cooking up?
We are making infused Japanese ramen. We're going to do a miso torikotsu, which is a miso salted chicken ramen. And we're making our noodles from scratch. We're kind of everything from the ground up. Some of it's already been prepared because it wouldn't be feasible to do it all right now. Something like the broth itself takes 12 hours to make. So,
nice.
Yeah. So we couldn't do that.
I can't hear those guys.
Jeff, do you want to maybe hop out then hop back in? I can.
Yeah,
hear
I can hear everybody except them.
All right. Can you can hear me all right?
The rest of you can hear us, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pop out.
Yeah, just leave the room and he'll pull you right back in. You don't have to leave the feed.
Yeah.
So I just hit leave.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye, Jeff.
Bye, Jeff. Bye.
See you later. Yeah, he left the whole room. I don't see him. He's not in the green room.
He like left.
He left. His box is gone.
It wouldn't be a Still Toking with show if something didn't go wrong.
Yep.
Hey, it would be an MCC dinner if something didn't go wrong either. So
Right? There he is. He's back.
I'm back.
Can you hear him now?
I can hear him now.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? I feel like I'm on a fucking Sprint commercial.
So.
Hey, I can do that all night if you want. Bounce out, bounce in, bounce out, bounce in.
Well, see, now Leo's glad that we're back on. We're doing the StreamYard, because if this was like Restream or Zoom, he'd be pulling his fucking hair out because the cameras would be all screwed up.
Yeah, it's my first. I've never used the StreamYard before, but it's definitely smooth.
Yeah, I feel like it works smoother than Zoom has, and the things that I've seen from it.
Yeah. We were using something called Wirecast before. It's broadcast studio, and definitely has a lot more features, but StreamYard makes it so much easier, and definitely alleviates some issues, especially when people hop out and hop back in.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to do it again? No.
So tonight you guys are cooking with cannabis. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what to expect tonight?
What they want to expect from us tonight. So
you can expect us to build a bowl of ramen in front of your eyes from scratch, essentially. Aside from, like I say, the broth and a couple little details, we're going to show you how to make noodles. They make ramen noodles, traditional style ramen noodles from scratch, which is something that only 2 out of the 10 top ramen restaurants in the country actually do. Most people rely on this one company, Sun Noodle, who makes fresh noodles for most every ramen restaurant in the whole country. Traditional Japanese or not, and most people would use them, but I've been making my own noodles a bit lately, and they're really good. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna show people how to do it properly. I'll give them a little insight on how to like jimmy rig something for themselves if they can't access some of the things that we have. And we're gonna build a bowl for you and show it how it all works.
Nice.
So, I mean,
whatever kind of questions you got in the meantime.
I know we jumped right into the show, but for some, I mean, we've met these gentlemen numerous times, and a lot of people have seen you guys at various events, especially around here. But for those people that are watching right now, Mass Cannabis Chefs is Joe Nelson and Pat. I can't pronounce your fucking last name. Mulcahy. I thought so, but I didn't want to screw it up, so I figured I'd just be honest right up front and be like, "Fuck it, just pronounce it."
Well, it's not that difficult, but then again, we're talking to somebody who can't count past 1.
Yeah, I mean that's a serious jump to spell and counting,
Right. Look at it. I don't have any gloves on. I can count to at least this many.
Market to call the other day, and they nailed it. They got it right on the first try, which is just a miracle.
I'm known for butchering names.
So is he, so don't feel bad.
I know, I don't remember them.
There's that too. He's terrible at memorizing everything. So
we do have a ton of fucking people watching, not many comments. So if anybody out there has got questions for these 2 fine gentlemen, get them up here. We'll get them asked. But I'm going to shoot a question off while you guys are starting.
Go for it.
What pushed you to the 2 of you to get involved with cooking with cannabis, I guess?
All right. That's actually a good question to start with because it's one that we get asked a lot, so it's easy for me to answer.
Yeah.
That's probably the most common question that we get asked is how did this all start? So me and Pat worked together at a restaurant in Plymouth. You might remember the Driftwood Public House from a couple years back.
Oh yeah.
Pat were the chefs over there. Well, however many years ago that was now when they shut down. It's close to 5 years since they've shut down over there. And but we were the chefs over there. And after that they shut down, he had left like 2 weeks before everything shut down, and then I left the 2 weeks right after that. We kind of went our separate ways, but we always kept remained friends. We've been working together and cooking together for that long at that point. So when the vote was happening on in November on whether or not to legalize as opposed to the decriminalize we already had in 2016.
Yeah, 16, yeah.
December.
16.
Yeah, December was when it started. Okay, yeah. So when all that was happening, me and Pat were like, I had this idea, and I knew that if I was going to do anything, I wanted one person to work with me, and it was this guy. So we had this idea. Me and him did a Thanksgiving dinner together.
What the fuck are you doing?
In November 2016, we had done dinner together, and a Thanksgiving dinner like that, we were like, yeah, this is a thing. This is something we can do, and we knew we wanted to do really good food, and we have this passion for it, and yeah, so that's kind of just how it boiled down. I called him one day. I said, hey, I got this idea, and I want you to do it with me, and he was on board from the very beginning.
It's grown. It's evolved since we started. When we first started, it was mostly for friends and extremely high doses because that's what we rely on.
Mm-hmm.
And now, any dinner we have new people, and we can dose each plate individually so that everybody can get as much as they want or none if that's their choice.
Yeah, see, that would be me. I'd be like, yeah, hit me with a 10 milligrams at the most.
And that's the beauty of what we do is we can give you your 10 and then say someone else wanted 200 sitting next to you, or 500 sitting next to him, or nothing sitting next to them. We're able to give everybody what they need.
Or strictly CBD, because we've definitely had a lot of people that have come to us just for CBD infused food.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's good to know.
I mean, for a long time there was a lot of the people that we had come in to dinner. We had a group of people at every dinner that were non-infused. People would just come and eat with us. So the weed. We always look at this. Food is first. The food is the most important thing. The cannabis being inside of it is a secondary thing. And other people seem to agree with us and find that sentiment to be true because they're willing to come in, spend the money and eat with us and not even get cannabis in their food,
Right.
Which, we're not cheap, so I can understand. You got to really like the food. I'll tell you that.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Well, plus there's a lot of nutritional and health benefits to not just the THC but the CBD as well.
Oh yeah.
He was trying to eat my cord, Adam.
I've found personally that, especially with eating it, that one doesn't really work without the other.
Yeah.
If you use just THC in a meal, or if you use just CBD in a meal, you won't get the full effect that specific cannabinoid has to offer unless you combine it with all the cannabinoid profiles of the plant.
Okay, so it's kind of like full spectrum.
Yeah, even if we're using distillate, we're going to go get an exact dosage of THC like you just saw. I also have a syringe of CBD, distilled CBD as well that we're going to add in there to round it all out to kind of give you that full spectrum feel, even though we're not using a full spectrum extract as the single infusion source.
Yep.
It allows us to be more precise. I can control exactly how much CBD I want to put in that dish, how much there should be for everybody to get what they're looking for. It's definitely a science to it, and yeah. So I wanted to kind of explain what I'm doing right now, because you kind of just saw me mix up some liquid with a shot glass full of some chemicals. What I had added in there, they're food safe chemicals. They're naturally occurring, but sodium carbonate and potassium carbonate. They are used to create the alkalinity and the texture of the noodle in the final product. They allow it to get its spongy, kind of almost chewy texture to it, and also to have the flavor that's appropriate in there. So I added those two chemicals and a little bit of salt to the what they call kansui in Japanese. It's the base. So this is the part where I was telling you I was going to be able to give people a trick on how to make their own if they can't get their hands on these. For people who do know, sodium carbonate is very similar to sodium bicarbonate, which is baking soda. So the only difference there is it's bicarbonate, meaning there's 2 carbon molecules. So what you can do is take your sodium bicarbonate, and cook it in the oven, and for a half hour, I believe it's at 300 degrees, and it will break off that extra carbon molecule, kind of like decarbing your flour does when you need it, like decarb to break off that carbon molecule in the oven. You do the same thing with sodium, baking soda, and you'll end up with a similar form of sodium carbonate, which you can then add to your water with your salt, and then you have your own kind of homemade ghetto concentrate. It's pretty neat. So,
did you say homemade ghetto?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's very homemade and it's very ghetto constantly, but it works. It will totally do the trick of what you're looking for.
The best food you've ever had is ghetto food.
Yeah,
Like,
fair enough. Yeah, things that were thrown together that weren't necessarily supposed to be that way.
True that.
Yeah, I'll go along with that.
So now what I got here is just bread flour. It's a high gluten strain of flour, mix of flour that I'm going to just mix my concentrate in with. Use your hand, just kind of in circles. There's an old Japanese tale from a Japanese noodle maker who says it like adds, I don't know, some sort of, I'm assuming it was kind of along the whole adds chi thing to the dish. Put love into your dish, essentially. Put some love by doing it by hand. I could use the mixer that you see in the back there, but I prefer to do it by hand when I'm making it.
So you're more of a wax on, wax off kind of guy.
Very much so. I wax it much
wax on the wax off.
Yeah. Yes. Lots of the wax off. Yes, as Pat said. Very much so a wax off. Can we hold the bowl steady so it doesn't move on me? Yeah, there we go. Now I'm just like working it in. This dough is not going to be like an Italian pasta dough. For anyone who's made like Italian pasta before, I'll show you what this dough looks like after adding the water here. Yeah, so mixing it in, kind of just get it going. All right. So what I did earlier was I made a pre-mixed one. I wanted to show the process of how I would mix this bowl, but I did a pre-mixed one so that you can see the end product and I can move on to the next step right now without having to wait the half hour in between that I normally would have to.
Oh, what a smart dude.
Yeah, that's what they do on the cooking shows. None of that stuff is done that fast. Every cooking show essentially does the same thing. They'll pre-cook certain things and have them ready so that you can see all the steps. So I don't know if you guys can actually see that well in there, but it's a very loose dough. It's crumbly. It's what they would call a shaggy dough, meaning that the moisture is not super even. It's not a wet dough. Like I'm gonna take this and clump this all together and try to get it all into one ball, and that's when I can start to get it going. This is definitely a very dry dough. So again, for people who have made Italian pasta at home and run it through their pasta mill thing over here, that wheel I have over here, which you'll see in a second. Normally it just kind of comes together. It's already ready. It's good to go. This one is, you're just going to come out that first pass and you're going to be confused as to how that's going to be a noodle at the end. I was the first time, I'll tell you that. It definitely doesn't look like it'll work, but I assure you it works pretty damn well. So you can see here, I'm kind of just clumping all that mess that was in the bowl together, make one big ball out of it. Kind of grabbing all the straggler bits of dough that have been hydrated at this point. That's part of the reason for resting with this dough. Not all pasta doughs would require a resting period, but because this is such a dry type of pasta and you want to get the moisture to work its way into the flour as best as humanly possible, which comes from, doing it like that. No pasta. So as you can see here, that's empty bowl, pasta, or dough anyway. Not quite pasta. Huh? Yeah. I'm going to cut this into pieces anyway. This already has to go into pieces. So now what I would do with this, I'm going to work it with my hands a little bit, kind of knead it a little, kind of work it together. Yeah, so you can see that right there. Knead the dough, try to get it all in there together, which it's almost there, kind of where I want it to be. Again, still pretty loose and kind of crumbly looking. But that's you only do part of the kneading by hand in this. The rest of it is done right in this guy, which is a pasta mill. So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. So if anyone has any questions while I do this, like we can talk while I'm just kind of getting the noodles onto the next step at this point.
So we do have a bunch of people watching. So if you have comments, please post them in the comments section, depending on where you're watching, whether on Facebook, YouTube, or whatnot. And I'll do my best to get to them, or Ben will.
Somebody will.
Yeah. Somebody will get your questions up here. I do see a lot of people watching that haven't piped in.
No, they're learning.
Yeah, people are trying to see the magic.
Be happy to answer questions on, not just this individual dish that we're making here, but any general food infusion questions that people might have.
Yeah, we're going to show the infusion process at some point through this as well when we get closer towards the end of the bowl making process. We'll show you the infusion and how that all works. And
Now, do you guys have a cookbook, or are you putting one together?
We have been working on one for a while. It's gone through many changes, and we've been working on it, stopped working on it, been working on it again, stopped working on it again, just through different things in life and just whatever going on. So it is in the works, and eventually there will be one. When that will be, I cannot 100% tell you.
Fair enough.
It is an idea. It's something we've talked about and we've worked on. We have recipes written down. It's really just compiling the ones that we really love and the ones we really, really want to share with people, and then sharing the ones I don't want to share with people. Because there's some things you can't just give away.
Right. Well, yeah, and you should really mix one or two in there that like really suck just to fuck with people.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't know how to make food that sucks, but I mean, I'm sure I can talk to someone and they can give me a recipe or two.
I got one.
Gummies don't count, Jeff.
Oh, they don't?
Don't worry. Oh yeah, that's stuff for you.
Let's see. Kevin Russell said, "What's up, Ben? How you doing?" Kevin, I'm doing great. Me and Bruce Banner are having a great time right now.
Big Bruce.
I got me some Bruce Banner.
He's a good guy.
And it's even green.
Full screening me and shit. Oh wow!
Thought you were gonna show what you had.
I'm just making sure that I wasn't freezing up.
Okay, that worked for it.
Yeah,
it's almost gone.
You look pretty in purple.
You like that, huh?
It's cute. Yeah, I like it.
Hey, man, it is what it is.
Hey, fair enough.
Excellent. So what do? You got to flatten it out to put it in the machine? Oh, I see.
Flatten it out enough to go through the machine, yep. And then as it comes out, you look at that. That's not like pretty necessarily. It's kind of dry and yeah. So I'm going to run it through another time at a lower setting, kind of work it through. And I'm going to go down one more setting. So I'm going from 0 to 1 to 2 in this first part of the process right here. And the dough is still relatively, it's dry. You can see it's breaking in certain parts. Down here. I'm in the wrong spot camera. But you can see it's kind of dry looking and broken and gross. So now what we're going to do is fold it in what they call a book fold, which is essentially one over this way, one back over this way. Press it back down, move this back, setting back to 0. Flatten it back together again. Now you have almost like a squared off bottom right there to start with, and feed that through it again. And this is continuing with the kneading process, which is a lot normally would be done by hand, but we're not doing that. That's the beauty of this wheel. This would be a major pain in the ass to do if it were being done entirely by hand.
This is an Italian machine
doing Japanese noodles.
Yeah, being used for Japanese noodles.
But to be fair, the Japanese have there's a version of this that the Japanese use as well. They have their own thing, just similar to it for making ramen noodles. Ramen's actually not that old of a thing in Japan. I believe it started in Japan in it's only like 60 to 100 years old or so, depending on who you ask. And it relatively have a lot of newer modern age kind of techniques for it because it's not a very old thing. The oldest part about it is probably the noodle style because it comes from China. This is the thing that the Japanese kind of commandeered and made their own from the Chinese. So we just do the same process 3 times essentially.
Okay.
And running it through 0 to 1 to 2.
Wow.
And
right, so we're in process number 2.
We're in the 3rd run through right now.
Oh, you are in the 3rd run through.
Yeah. See, he can't count.
Now you can see that the dough is now.
Well, don't get your ball stuck in that thing.
No, don't do that. That'd be a bad idea. I would strongly advise against it. So now, the part of process I'm at is getting the proper thickness that I want it to be at, which is different for every bowl, depending on what kind of broth you use. Is going to depend on how thick you want your noodles. Do you want the wavy how do you want them to catch the broth? That's kind of an important thing. We're doing a chicken broth, so what they call a torikotsu, which is a thick, rich chicken broth. And rice vinegar if you want to. Cool.
And I would assume that's what Pat's doing over there, is choking the chicken.
Yes, he is. He's choking the chicken right now, 100%. Yep. Getting it ready so that when all the noodles are ready, we can have the chicken ready as well. There's both dark and light. So
nice.
I would use a more light than dark. The dark is really strong. But yeah, the more you run this through, the more that the mixture is worked in, and it just comes out really, really good. The noodles have been great. I've been playing with them pretty much all of the whole quarantine. This is my big project I've been working on, with getting noodles right.
Right.
I
bet you play with your noodles different than me.
I probably do a little bit of both, to be fair.
So
I won't discount that. It's quarantine for everybody. Okay, it's nobody's seeing anybody. Everyone's choking chickens, playing with noodles. You know.
Leo, you had something to say?
So in the comments, Mark said, real easy to roll out with the KitchenAid mixer pasta attachment. I'm assuming, doing it by hand is definitely more, get a lot more finesse. For somebody starting out that maybe has a KitchenAid mixer, what would you recommend that?
The KitchenAid tool is great if you have that. It's probably a little bit cheaper than this hand crank tool. This is a very commonly used one. It's any kitchen I've ever worked at has had one of these. Yeah, so like every kitchen that I've ever worked at has used one of these as opposed to the KitchenAid one. The reason I believe being for that is the KitchenAid one is automatic. So at first, for a beginner to kind of run the automatic thing,
go slow.
Yeah, go really slow.
Speed 1 or 2, like
it can be a little bit of pain.
Drag it through. Don't try to rush.
Yeah, this just lets you really control it, and it gives you your own, hands on. Really, kind of, you have the full control over what's happening. You don't have to worry about anything. So what I'm doing here, adding a little cornstarch in the middle to make sure that the dough doesn't stick. You use cornstarch and not flour because the flour won't absorb the cornstarch. The dough won't absorb the cornstarch into it, and you don't want it to absorb the cornstarch because if it does, then you end up with too much too dry, but too much flour in your dough, which is not what you really want.
And then what? You run that through the machine again?
Nope. This is done at this point. These noodles are ready to be cut. I'm gonna do that after. I'm gonna run through all the dough that I have right now to make noodles. So I have for us all to eat tonight. We're cooking for you guys, but we're cooking for other people too at the same time.
It's also dinner, and I'm hungry.
We hungry. I've been at work all day, and it's almost time to eat. So we're making this for us for dinner tonight. You gave us a good reason to cook. So
nice.
All right. While you're doing that, Leo's going to run a quick, what's it, a 36 second commercial?
Like a 60 second.
All right. Let's run the Deadly Grounds commercial while he's running that dough.
Sounds good. So, here's Deadly Grounds. I won't give you the spiel, but local coffee roaster. Wow, that peaked a little bit.
Where are they out of? Just out of curiosity.
Right in Connecticut.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
Yeah, most amazing coffee you'll ever have. Here's a zombie talking about coffee.
Nice.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly.
Use the front door!
Oh, they're so disgusting.
Shark Bites Podcast. It's the greatest show in history. From the Dorkening Network, hosted by a nerd who's named Patsy. From movie reviews to tips on surviving the coronavirus, Shark Bites has it all. Follow us on Facebook and suggest topics at sharkbitespod@gmail.com. Available on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
I fucking love that commercial.
Yeah, I know. So do I.
It just fits. I mean, that commercial was made long before we started this show, and it just fits perfect. I love it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, Tom, that's what he does. He makes videos. So
no shit.
I think that's part of his day job. I'm not sure, but he does awesome work.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Yeah.
What about this? We got
dashi broth. We gotta get the miso in the broth. Salt and miso in the broth. Flavor the broth up, yeah. So what Pat's doing right now, he's gonna get our broth into working order, into where it needs to be, flavored right, and so it's just a base chicken broth at this point. Nothing too crazy. I think there's a little bit of ginger and leeks in there, right?
For this chicken broth?
Yeah, or is this one just basic?
Oh,
Is it more basic?
It's been so long since I made it.
Yeah, I know.
This was, there's definitely garlic, ginger, leeks, and some fennel.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Fennel is untraditional in a ramen broth. It's not a very Asian vegetable, but I'm a big fan of it, and I happen to have some extra fennel stalks at the time I was making the broth. So,
yeah. So we kind of did a little bit of our own twist on it at this point, but it's still, you don't really get the flavor. It doesn't come through as like fennel forward in any way. It's just a nice aromatic almost at that point. It gives a nice little touch to the flavor of the broth, but nothing too crazy.
Right.
Yeah. I just like the way you hand crank your noodle.
Yeah, I'm very good at cranking my noodle. I've been working on it for about 31 years now. long noodle. I'm really good at it at this point.
Oh my word!
Been working. I try.
So, as far as your business goes, the actual events in private events that you guys do.
Yep.
On average, what would a private event cost somebody?
That's a really hard question to answer, to be totally honest.
I figured it was. That's why I threw it at you.
That's a good. Go for it. So it's really going to depend. There's a lot of factors that go into determining the cost of an event like that. How many people is the first like big thing?
Well, we're quarantined, so what is it? Fucking 10?
Well, that's our
right now.
Normally, we have a minimum of 10 people for a private event.
Right.
During the whole COVID, we've obviously adjusted that, so the maximum is 8 people, because as a group of 10 is the limit, so you have to include me and Joe as the chef, so that allows them to do dinners for 8.
Yeah. So that's where we're at on that right now.
How many courses they want to do affect the price.
Okay.
What proteins they want. You can go anywhere from, like, if you put chicken on a dish, that's significantly cheaper than if we put steak or lobster on a dish. So it all plays into.
Okay, so if you were going to do an average chicken dish style, maybe something similar to what you're doing right now, for your average amount of people.
Grab your phone real quick. Give us 1 second, and I will give you an answer to your question. I'm gonna.
He's got it written down.
Sheet and get a rough, give you a rough estimate as if you were a customer inquiring for that.
I mean, I know it off my head.
Well, just in case any of our
for a 3-course meal where the entree has chicken, and then you're talking about like a basic vegetable appetizer and fruit-based dessert, you'd be looking at about $120 to $130 a person.
Okay.
That's just in food. There's other costs and different things involved, but it really depends on what you need, though. Yeah.
Yeah. On top of that, we have a staff we bring out that needs to be paid. So there's we run servers. If we do an event, we don't joke around with it. It's going to be, even in your own home, it's going to be like you went to a fine dining restaurant in your own dining room. You are not going to have to worry about anything. We're going to have a team there to handle absolutely anything that you might want handled, drink service, anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
We come from fine dining. That's where we've worked at for many years, and it's the style of food and service that we like to do and where we feel comfortable. So we really push it.
Well, no, that's awesome. I mean, and that question was basically thrown out there because we do have a lot of people watching, not so many and actually there's a lot in the comments, but more so watching. But if they kind of had this inkling, this would be a good thing to do or something like that, at least they have some sort of an idea.
I would say anyone who has the idea that they want to come and eat with us or would want to have us do a private dinner, I'd advise them to email me, and I can send them our price breakdown sheet that has all the details to that. Everything what everything costs from start to finish. That's all.
Now why didn't you just say that when I asked you the question? That would have just resolved everything.
I was trying to give you a rough idea on for it. I was trying to answer your question the way you asked it.
I'm just being a dick in the crowd.
I mean, I definitely could have just said that, but I feel like that would have been me being the dick in the crowd, being like, just fucking look it up, bro. Like,
well, see, I would have respected that answer.
As would I, but I'm not trying to be rude to the people in the comments.
That's not the answer that we'll ever give one of our guests.
Yeah.
So the cool thing is, if you check the show notes down below or above, depending on where you're watching or listening to us, I got a section there that says follow Mass Cannabis Chefs and all the different ways you can reach out to them, their website, their Facebook, their Twitter, their Instagram. So yeah, it's all right there. All you got to do is click and follow.
And I believe you also added the Netflix link, correct?
I have the video downloaded.
Oh, you do?
Would you like me to play that?
Oh, the trailer.
So for people who don't know, who are checking in and looking in, who haven't seen the show yet, on 420 this year, Pat was on the show Cooked with Cannabis on Netflix last summer, I believe it was. He got flown out to LA to compete. Won't tell you the detail how that all played out for people who haven't seen it. So go on Netflix, watch Cooked with Cannabis, episode 5. Pat's on, competes against some chefs from the West Coast. It was a hell of a show. Hell of a time being there.
I had a lot of fun.
Right.
It was a really good time. Different cannabis chefs from all around the country, and just kind of seeing the way they were doing, like their style of almost what we do. Everybody's doing things a little bit differently. So it was just really cool to see everybody's different takes on stuff.
Right. Great. That must have been a great learning experience.
Oh
Yeah. And also a great teaching experience. I was not entirely surprised to learn that some of the people that had been called to the show weren't all the way up to date on the processes of how to accurately infuse and dose food.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised to hear that at all. I would that a lot of people are not ever, just based on the way that I see edibles handled these days, just in general, with people around the way and the lack of accurate dosing of edibles and things like that. You just know that there's a learning curve there, and until you're taught it, until you know how it works, you don't know how it works, even if you think you do.
Gotcha.
That's just what I've seen. That's one of the biggest problems that we really run into in dinners, just as a rule, is that people come in thinking they know what their infusion level is, thinking they know what dose is good for them because of the edibles
all the time.
Yeah, because they eat edibles that are labeled as a certain thing all the time, and then you see online all the time all these different edible companies, or at least we did pre-COVID when like MCR was open and shit. All these different people testing stuff that said it was this dose, but it was like said it was 300, but it was 30. Shit like that.
Right.
You see that all the time. It's like so common out there right now that.
Well, it is.
It's sad. It's scary because then people come to us and they're like, yeah, I can handle 300 milligrams at a time, and I'll give you 300 milligrams in your dinner if you want it, because that's your own choice as an adult to have that. But if you're expecting the feeling of 30 milligrams and you actually get a true 300 milligrams, that's a drastic difference there.
That's a bad night.
Yeah, very bad night.
It might be a good night, but either way, it's going to be a very different night than what you were expecting.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a bad night. Trust me.
Yeah.
I
trust me.
Yeah, and that's just it, and that's why we think we believe so strongly in testing everything. Like anything we cook with has been lab tested. We're doing all the math, doing all the weighing everything out with a scale that goes to the 10th, 100th, 1000th degree. The 3 decimals to the left, so we get really, really accurate with it. Because sometimes we get people that come to dinner that only want 3 milligrams in their whole meal or 5 milligrams in their whole meal, and we have to be able to give that to them. We have to be able to accurately dose them with that, which is kind of the reason we don't use flour for cooking, because you can't accurately do anything like that using actual flour, nor is it time inclusive. There's a lot of reasons why flour is not the ideal for doing an event like what we do.
The main one, flavor.
Yeah.
You never want all that chlorophyll in your food.
Never.
Right. So we do have a couple questions that popped up.
I know.
We got a question here that says, "What dish do you all make that's the most potent dish?"
Any dish can be the most potent dish. It's whatever you want it to be. That's the beauty of what we do, is every person gets their dish infused to the level that they want it to be. So if it's infused to the level you want it to be, then it's going to be as potent as you kind of really want it to be. So it's within reason of what we offer for dinners.
Now, as far as flavor goes, Joe was mentioning that like the first dinner we ever did was Thanksgiving, and I will still say that turkey gravy will carry the flavor of cannabis better than anything we found to date so far.
Yeah.
Really?
Fair enough.
Dairy products work really well, like a cheese sauce holds it really nicely. But yeah, turkey gravy is just like, once you have turkey gravy with weed in it,
You don't want
you never want turkey gravy without weed in it.
Yeah. And that will, with what he's saying, the reason why he brings that up right now is because the flavor works so well, you can really infuse that really heavily and not have to worry about the flavor being off-putting or whatever, no matter which way you're infusing it. Because that turkey gravy that we made with wheat in it that first time, we did with flour. We did like a butter. We did a flour, like an infused butter that we used to infuse it with. That was kind of when we determined that using flour was not the right way for us to do what we were going to do.
But, that's a great idea, actually.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm going to be all over that one.
Oh, it's delicious. You can hit me up. I'll give you a recipe.
Yeah, it's also one of the ones that's like very easy to infuse. It requires, you can infuse pretty much any dish you can imagine. There are very few things in the world that you can't infuse.
One thing, pickles.
Pickles. That's what that's the only thing. To get accurate, you can't accurately infuse pickles.
Yeah.
You can infuse them, but to know how much THC is actually in that pickle is
compared to the pickle right next to it. Yeah. And how's that the transfer from your brine into the pickle going to work? Is that really going to give you a true measurement? You know what I mean? Like, is that going to give a true infusion there? I don't believe it will.
Wow. That gives a whole new meaning to pickle shots.
Yeah. That's
the thing with infusing pickles is you would have to end up drinking the brine, otherwise you'd be wasting it. Like no matter what you do, there's going to be THC in the brine.
That's how you infuse pickles. You individually wrap the fucking the whole pickles
one pickle in
like
the
they do those things.
Get one pickle
in the brine.
Drink the juice, eat the pickle, you'll be stoned.
Yep.
Look at that.
Seal it. Vacuum seal the pickle.
Trademark that, Jeff. Trademark that quick.
Jeff, what you do on the weekends, let's talk about that later.
All right, so what, you got that trailer there, Leo? You want
I do. Here we go.
Send it.
There is a revolution taking the cooking world by storm. And it's all because of this star ingredient. Bring on the weed. Welcome to a cooking competition like no other.
Feeling dangerous.
Each episode, 3 expert cannabis chefs will prepare a 3-course cannabis-infused menu that will put their culinary skills to the ultimate test.
I'm competitive. I love to win, and nobody travels anywhere to take an L.
I really like using raw flour just because there's so much flavor that's in it.
One of you is going to be leaving here with $10,000.
2 of you are going to just be leaving.
Right. Along for the wild ride in each episode will be a group of special guests.
I can tell you gotta be high to come up with this.
Elle just ate the whole pie. Let's get it cooked!
And that's what I'm talking about right there, that beautiful sear.
When CBD and THC work together, they essentially create a symphony.
This last one really got me, though. Took me to another level.
It's fire time, guys. It's gonna smoke all together.
Oh, you're so dramatic.
30 minutes till I win the $10,000.
Oh, watch yourself.
Oh, why am I holding a spoon? Because I'm high.
Less than 1 minute left.
That's not enough time.
Are you fired up? Yeah, say it! I can see that people are getting a little bit more intense.
This is it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1!
This is Cooked with Cannabis.
Sweetie, you can't get up from the table till you've had your THC.
Okay, and you said that was episode 5 they need to look for, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's called High Holidays.
Holidays.
Yeah, so I did Thanksgiving, a play on the Thanksgiving meal during my episode. We were supposed to choose a holiday, and it was our first holiday. It's still always been one of my favorites, so it's local to Plymouth, Mass, where I come from, so how could I not,
That's right.
And now I'm fucking hungry.
Yeah,
I just said that.
That's why we're cooking.
So Kimberly's asking, what ingredients take away from the infusion?
Take away
from the flavor of acids, like
citric.
Yeah, high citrics. That's always, I see like people making the infused lemonades, and that's always kind of baffled me because that's the one flavor I've found like lemon and cannabis just don't pair very well together at all. Even when you're talking about a strain that's high in like limonene, like an actual lemon flavored terpene kind of. They just kind of counteract that acid, takes away from the base effect of the cannabis.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, the flavor just isn't my favorite. You can do it, But like when we do dishes that have citric elements, we tend to infuse something different than the citric part of the dish. We'll go with something that's not a heavy citrus part, anything else in the dish per se. It could be anywhere. But yeah, that's a good question. I don't know that there's any food that necessarily takes away from the actual effect. Nothing that will. There's nothing that's going to stop you from getting high.
No, and certain ones will, but it's not based off of necessarily the way that ingredient will interact with the THC. More so the way that ingredient interacts with your personal digestive system. If cheese is hard to digest for you, then an infused mac and cheese is going to be very hard for you to fully process because your body's struggling to process the cheese in the beginning. So processing the THC along with it is complicated.
Yeah. And that's really what the biggest thing for when it comes to edibles that people just don't. That's like I think what kind of confuses a lot of people. Like you're high when you're talking about edibles is all coming from your digestion. So how long is it going to take to get you high? How long is it going to take until you feel your infusion? Well, that depends on you personally. I'm sure it's for people who've eaten edibles before, they know that. But for people who don't or not really super, informed in that regard, it's all about how you personally or how your personal digestion works because it has to go through your liver and your kidneys and be converted into the whatever chemical name. I can never remember this chemical name. It's whatever THC is converted to in your liver, and it becomes 6 to 10 times stronger. And that's the problem with edibles compared to smoking. And that's why the people who are like, "Hey, I smoke every day. I can eat all the edibles I want." No, you can't. That's not how that works.
No, it doesn't work like that.
You cannot.
Yeah, some of you, yes, that's real. Some people really do just have a high tolerance due to that. But it really just depends on how your body is going to process it because it's not. There's no rhyme or reason to it. You can't say because you're a big guy that now all of a sudden you're not going to get too fucked up by 500 milligrams of THC. 500 milligrams of THC, almost anyone's going to feel that. You know what I mean?
If you don't feel 500, then
there's a fucking problem with you. Okay? I would suggest maybe figuring something out. Take a tolerance break or something because 500 is a lot.
See a professional.
Yeah, see a professional, not me.
So Michelle is asking, how would you use for fudge?
What would I do? How would we do what?
How would you make infused fudge? What would you use?
You infuse the butter.
Yeah.
Infuse the butter that you're putting into your fudge. You're adding the butter as one of the last ingredients that gets added to your fudge at the very end anyway when you're making a traditional fudge. I would infuse the butter. You can either use a flour infusion or a concentrate infusion into it, but either way, I would infuse the butter because it doesn't get heated.
And for an accurate dosage and things like that, we always work by weight. So if we put 0.12 of a concentrate into 100 grams of butter, we know that there is, let's just say that's 100 milligrams in that 100 grams of butter. So I could then use 50 grams of butter to get to 50 milligrams, or that can play out however you want.
For when I make fudge, we actually did fudge for our Harvest Cup entry the first year that Harvest Cup was a thing, and we did an infused fudge for when we entered that. And it really, what I did was just take the measure of butter that you would use in your fudge recipe, infuse that amount of butter, and then just put it in when it's time. That way, you're using the right amount. There's no question there. It's exactly what you need. And yeah, then you don't have to. And then you know that you take whatever that dosage that you put into the butter and divide that by however many pieces of fudge you end up with, or however you cut it, or you can cut them in the way you want to cut them based on what dosage you want.
So basically, it all boils down to math.
Yep.
It's lots of math. And especially when you're talking about the process of decarboxylation, because when you decarboxylate some concentrate or a flour of any kind, you only want to decarboxylate 70%, because after that you start seeing diminishing returns. More THC is being converted into CBN than THCA is being converted into active THC that you can ingest. So if you have something, let's just say you have a flower that's 20% THC, you are only going to be able to pull 70% of that 20% out of that flower to accurately be able to use.
Which is why when you look at tax scores from labs, a lot of the time you'll see you have this much THC in the actual thing, but then there's the available THC number, which is what you're essentially that is what you're going to be able to get out of your final in the end when you cook with it.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, it is good to know.
But yeah,
And you can hear a pin drop. Bing.
I'm a little high and been drinking all day at work, so
yeah, I'm a little high too.
No way.
That's good. That's very good.
Yeah,
just a little.
Yeah, just a little right now.
Just a little.
We actually need to get high.
I was gonna say I might go pack a bowl. Pardon me for like 1 minute.
Yeah, Pat's stepping off so that we can get higher and join. We don't cook unless we're high. That's like that's kind of how we met. We met doing dabs in the basement at the restaurant that we worked at. That was like that was our thing. That's literally how we met before I worked there. Like I was friends with the owner before I met him, which is part of why I didn't want to work there at first, because I was friends with the owner, and I know better than to work for friends. It's kind of a fucking shitty idea. You always end up resenting your friends, and that's not fun. So I didn't work there for a while, but I asked my friend, I was like, you want to go do a dab? And he's like, yeah, where can we go? He said, oh, let's go into the basement. It was his restaurant, so we went to the basement, and Pat happened to be down there, and and then we continued that whole thing for as long as we worked there. We would do dabs in that basement all the time. I can't tell you how many delivery guys walked in on us doing dabs in the basement.
Slap a burger on the grill and go do a dab. I'll be back before I gotta flip it.
Every 2 hours, it was like clockwork. We literally had timers going, and it's like every 2 hours we'd go downstairs. No matter what was going on in the restaurant, it really didn't matter. We would go downstairs and do a fat dab real quick, and then come right back up. Like he just said, we'd throw all the food on the grill or in the saute or in the oven or everything we had to get going. We get it all going. As soon as everything's on and ready and has a couple minutes, run downstairs real quick. Good to go.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. I miss doing that. I definitely don't miss working in restaurants like at all, but fun nonetheless.
Right. We got any more questions out there, Leah? Because I'm not paying attention.
So Kevin said it's hydroxy 11, I believe that.
Yep, that sounds about right. That's like delta hydroxy number tetrahydrocannabinol. 11's probably, that sounds right. I can never remember that whole thing. It's a long chemistry thing that I know what it means. I know what it does. I know what it does. I know how it works. I just can never remember that name. Again, I smoke a lot of weed, so that's yeah.
As the smoke billows and clears.
Yeah.
So, just a reminder, we're going to be giving away CBD and Mask giveaway. We're going to be pulling the winner at the end of the show. So probably in about 10 minutes, we'll pull a winner.
Yeah,
10, 15. How you guys doing for time?
We're close.
Okay, that's what she said.
Yeah, she's always saying that. You know.
Yeah, I'm close. Why'd you stop?
But never close enough.
Because I'm done. Because I'm full.
And a little sneak peek of the next prize for next week: limited edition Canman print autographed.
Canman, nice.
That's
he does beautiful work. We've had
he
him
was
in
working
some
on that
events.
piece at dinner. On one of the dinners that he did with us, he was working on that piece. That's awesome. He's come out to dinner a couple times. Pig roast dinner.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that because, like you said, you guys are local. I mean, especially to me and Jeff.
Pig roast was in Clifton last year.
Yeah. I saw that, and I think we were away.
Yeah, we weren't
here. Yeah, we were away when that happened.
We weren't here.
Pig roast is a lot of fun, I'll tell you. I don't know that we're going to be able to do it this year, which is really sad, just because of the restrictions on how many people and all that. I'm not going to do it for a small group. It's not worth it. A pig needs fucking 50 people or so to eat it.
10 people to eat the whole pig.
Yeah,
and at least not the size of what we put on.
Yeah, we put on over 150.
Well, yeah, 10 people. All you're going to get is the head.
Yeah,
exactly. And again, that's what she said.
Right.
I thought you were going to say for 10 people, all you were going to get is the ass.
I mean, lucky to get that, I guess.
Right?
Especially if it's infused.
Yeah. You're lucky to get any ass.
Especially injected.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Infused. All right, cool. Pat's getting our infusion ready right now. I'm going to pull out
just the tip.
So for those of you watching the live stream right now, I just put a link in the comments. You have a couple minutes more to enter, so we'll pull the winner probably in about 10-15, but I believe the contest officially ends in about 5 minutes roughly. So
sweet.
You guys are tapped. Well, yeah, no shit.
Michelle is asking, what are you guys making? I know you talked about it earlier, but for those people just tuning in.
Yeah, sure. So we are doing an infused bowl of Japanese ramen. It's what we would call a miso torikotsu, which means it is salted with miso paste. This is a fermented soybean paste, and it is a rich, thick chicken broth. And I am in the process of cutting our fresh made noodles that we just made in front of you. I hand cut my noodles because I can't get a machine to cut them the right size. Working on it. I've looked into it. They don't.
I'm not even going to say anything.
Better on that. It's too wide.
Yeah, it's too fat.
It'd be good for tonkatsu.
No, it's too fat. It's like way too.
Now, Joe, this is what you do the pop-ups with, right? Is this type of cooking right here?
Yep, exactly. This is why I'm able to do these noodles, and I don't just buy them because I learned how to do it for the restaurant that I'm trying to open.
Yep.
I've been working on it for a year or so now. It's a process to open a restaurant and acquire money and
we know
all the goods for opening things. That isn't cheap, especially when you want to build it on Main Street in Plymouth, Massachusetts. So
really,
yeah,
I could walk down there.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I'll be doing ramen at Second Wind Brewing, probably Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the foreseeable future. Starting I think this weekend.
No shit. You'll have to send me the info on that because I literally only live a couple minutes away.
Yeah, I'll put it in the group message that we were in and send it to you so you can come down. It'd be like I said, we're starting this weekend. I think we're doing an open on Friday, opening it up on Friday. But the only way that the brewery can open and do anything is to have food.
Right.
I happen to be in phase 4 for the bars, and if they do food, nice. Yeah. That's why.
If you serve food and you're doing sit down food, you fall into phase 2, as opposed to falling into phase 4 like every other bar does with because they're open. That's open standing, pack in type stuff. All we can do is sit down at seats at tables. We're gonna have a limited amount of tables at the brewery, outdoors only. Pretty neat.
I think my wife got into my gummies.
Well, she's gonna have a good night.
Well, yeah, I'll have to come down and check out the brewery too.
Oh yeah, we do really great beer, man. I've been brewing there I've been brewing there since last November.
Cool.
Now, I didn't even know that. I mean, shit, if I had known that, I would have already been down there.
Yeah, we do some pretty.
Well, those guys living so close, we should. I mean, I'm surprised we haven't even just hooked up to get high together.
Right? We could just go down in the basement and do dabs.
That's not. Yeah. If only I don't have the basement to do dabs in.
Like right next to that basement too. You work.
My brewery is right behind the restaurant that me and him worked at when we met. Like I look at the building that we used to work in every day when I come into work.
Right.
Yeah, it's like literally it's the garage right behind. I remember when we were working there. It wasn't a brewery.
Yeah, no, we worked there. The garage out back was like all
parties.
It was all like beaten down, and just like the guy that owned it would show up to have like random raves every once in a while. Now it's a brewery.
Yeah, they were actually like building the brewery when the restaurant was shutting down. They were in the back there like building it at that time.
Right.
Funny. Remember the chick who did the conch chowder?
Yeah.
She came into the brewery today.
Matt's like ex-wife or whatever?
No, that was Becca's friend or whatever that did that. Like Becca was the one who put that together, but the girl who actually cooked it, the little short girl or whatever, she came into the brewery today.
Bring conch chowder to a New England chowder festival.
Yeah.
Like you realize those only fucking exist in
warm
water, right?
Yeah, it wasn't the brightest thing they ever did, I tell you.
So how many people are you cooking for tonight?
Just 4. Just 2 of us and then 1 and 2 more. Just a quick din.
So for this dish, we're keeping it simple because ramen is very big on having different fats that go into the dish that'll float on top. So super simple infusion for this one. I've mixed our concentrate of a THC distillate and some CBD distillate into some garlic and shallot oil that we've made. And then we'll literally just, I'll suck this up into a syringe so I know exactly how much needs to go on every single dish. And just top it off with some of the infused and then some regular uninfused oil to go with it. So everybody's at the same levels of oil.
So the flavor is still consistent even though the dosing is different.
Gotcha.
So like both the girls that are eating with us tonight have lower doses than what me and Pat are getting. and very specific lower doses than what me and Pat are getting. So we are going to make sure that they get exactly what they want and that we get what we want.
Okay.
Which, as you can imagine, is quite a good amount more than what they want.
I was, I had so many comments.
I'm sure.
I kept it polite.
Right, so you make up the difference after you do the infusion with the uninfused oil, so that everything is consistent. Right. Okay.
Exactly. We do that in a lot of things. That's a very common way of infusing for us. You find what's going to be infused. You infuse part of it. You mix it into and then if it's like something where it needs to get mixed in, you mix it in with more of the uninfused version to get to the proper amount, so that it's evenly dispersed on a plate.
It also allows us to have zero waste. If we're going to infuse the sauce, rather than infuse the entire sauce, we'll infuse just what we need, divide that out, and then come back with an uninfused sauce and top it all off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Instead of getting totally fucked up on the barbecue sauce.
I mean, we can totally infuse things like that ahead of time. That's like the very traditional way to do it.
That's what we did our pig roast. So like our pig roast is we have let's just say we have 4 different barbecue sauces. The base honey barbecue is the infused one. You show up, it's like, how much do you want? Okay, you get this much regular barbecue, then go nuts with any other sauce you want.
Nice.
That makes sense.
Bunch of hand cut noodles, big fucking mountain of them right here. Cutting them up while he's cooking the chicken, so we can plate these bowls up shortly.
Nice.
Should be perfect. I knew that when you told me how long this was, I was like, yeah, it's about the perfect time to make a bowl of noodles.
Yeah, no, I'm just enjoying watching this.
Yeah, we're making it happen. Trying to make it interesting while we do so.
Well, it's been very interesting because all we've been able to see is your nipples.
You'd be lucky to see my nipples. Okay, they're pretty nice.
Though, it's as full as I can't speak tonight. Absolutely. I'm on caffeine, not anything else. It's been mesmerizing just watching that, ball of dough become this huge thing of noodles. It's been
right.
It's going to make it hard for me to go to the store and buy those ramen noodles now.
those are totally those are freeze dried versions of this, and they're not good at all. Like they're also coated with a lot of wax, which this doesn't have. If any of you are up in the Quincy area, you can go to Cam Foods. It's the Asian supermarket in Quincy, and they will sell in their noodle section, in the fresh noodle section. They sell these version of instant ramen, which is made by Sun Noodle. You can either use their packs of broth, what is it, concentrate or whatever, or you can just use their noodles because they're the company that makes the noodles that most restaurants in the whole country would use. And they'll stock their instant. They have their own kind of an instant version, but instead of a powder pack, it's like a paste. The broth is reduced down into a paste, and then you just add water to that. It's really good. I make my own ramen as a rule, and I eat their instant stuff because it's fire.
Well, they look pretty simple to make. I'll just have to pick up one of those ball rollers.
Yeah. That's the thing it's not really that they're hard to make in all actuality. It's getting the mixtures right for your kansui. The kansui is the most important part of the noodles, is making sure that you have the right amount of liquid in them, of the right amount of hydration and liquid just in general, but of the right amount of the chemical that gives them the right texture and flavor and all that. So yeah, now you see here is a big old mountain of noodles. That's my fresh noodles that I just made in front of your eyes. That's enough for probably about 25 ounces of noodles right there. So that's 5 people's portions of noodles. I actually generally do a 4-ounce noodle portion here. So yeah, they're really good though. Those noodles are the best.
I know, but now I'm fucking hungry as hell.
Oh, it's coming.
What about Jeff? He's normally starving by now.
No, another 12 minutes, and he'll be like, I gotta eat. Come on, hurry the fuck up.
That's right. Actually, we're having chicken cordon bleu.
Oh, nice. I know it's for the people down my area. There's a place in Groton right on the water that hand makes their own noodles as well.
Ramen?
Not ramen. It's more of an Italian place.
Okay, yeah. I find that Italian noodles are far more common. For some reason, I really couldn't tell you why people don't make their own noodles for ramen as well. It's kind of always been shocking to me. But yeah, it's I never could quite understand why that was a thing. But that is what most everybody do. They buy the Sun noodles, and the beauty of Sun Noodle though is that for every customer that they have, they'll do like custom style noodles for that company. So like every ramen shop out there could have their own specialty noodle made by Sun Noodle for them, which I think is pretty awesome.
Nice.
And that was just a really cool thing that I liked about them. And they make amazing noodles. They really do. They're delicious. But as a chef who makes everything myself, I just can't rightfully like justify it to not make them at this point, you know, or at least not have the option for them of the ones that I made.
Gotcha.
I love these noodles. They're so good. Big old pile of nudes.
Yeah, they do look
Like
yummy.
we like to say, send the nudes.
Send nudes.
Send them.
Send the nudes.
Yeah, we're big fans around this way.
So how'd we do on the contest, Leo?
Well, we didn't pull a winner yet, but we have let's see,
You need to charge that.
82 entries. 82 contestants with 1,204 entries.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
A bunch of people, huh?
Yeah. So definitely beat out the mystery box from Hippie Chick. So each week you guys been growing on the content.
Yeah, I like when it grows.
Have Mirren too, but I don't have them.
Now, I want to know how I get a Mass Cannabis Chef's shirt, like the one Joe's wearing.
Come see.
Oh, look at that. Did he just lose his feed? You won't get to see what he did. He just lost his feed.
What if his phone died?
Well, it still shows that he's there. It's probably like his connection is just.
Yeah, the laptop just went.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll be back.
Do we want to pull the winner while
Why don't we pull the winner while we're trying to get him back in?
Pull the winner.
Okay. So let's see. Ready to award. Oh, Kevin, it's because he asked for a free shirt.
Right.
Okay.
While we're waiting for them to come back. Oh, we just lost them.
Yeah. Okay. The winner is drumroll. Swaterman 666.
Swaterman 666. No fucking idea who that is.
Nope. What I'll do is I'll give you their email so you can reach out.
All right.
And-
Swaterman, that's got to be one of my relatives.
Swaterman 666.
Well, Waterman.
Wow, that don't mean nothing.
No, it don't. But we'll find out.
Yeah.
So yeah, send me their email.
Yes.
So congratulations, Swaterman.
Hey guys, you're back.
Yeah, sorry, this thing, the cord wasn't plugged in right, and it cut out on us.
That's
But,
all right.
We're back.
No, Leo does not smoke weed.
I was going to let Leo answer that.
Why not, Leo?
Oh, no shit.
Oh, Michelle says it's Samantha.
Oh, damn.
Do we re-poll?
No. That's my wife's niece, and she's been giving me a hard time about a mask.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll tell you what, you can get a free mask if you can get your aunt to, give me a little love. And she just won the fucking mask, and I just got screwed out of getting love. I said it politely.
And the Can Man print contest, that'll be you can enter that all week until end of the show
Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we
Matt,
actually
I'll
Go
put
ahead.
the link. For people watching now, I'll put the link in the chat.
In the chat.
So you can get an extra jump on it, just for the people that are watching live right now.
There you go.
Yeah. And to answer Matt's question, I do not. But I'm gonna look and see if I can get a medical card when I see the doctor in October.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. With my job, I want to make sure everything's up on board. So
Yeah. Well, I know you've been doing the CBD, and it's really been helping you. So
yeah. Except this weekend, I really fucked up my back. So it's it's definitely helping. My wife's been putting the stuff on my back and stuff. So
Try laying down when you play with yourself instead of sitting up.
Yeah, it's a whole lot more fun.
fucking Matt. Is that your new movie, Matt? Smoking meth?
Laying down, playing with yourself?
No.
Really good time.
Matt Fisher is a independent filmmaker.
Oh, okay.
I did a cameo in one of his movies that's coming out, but he just said he's going to start a show called Smoking Meth.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Now you got to get your card in Connecticut, though, right?
Yeah, I'm in Connecticut, and I hear that it's a little bit more difficult.
I've heard your whole system in Connecticut's fucked. That's what I've heard about Connecticut's medical system, but I'm not from Connecticut and I don't deal with that, so I couldn't honestly say, but that is the rumor.
Yeah, Connecticut is certainly special. I mean, I love living down here, but it's certainly special.
Yeah. To me, it's not even a nice state to drive through.
No,
Well, certain parts are, you know.
Wow.
Well, I just, I've got
you
bad
guys are
memories
hammered.
of being stuck on 95 in Connecticut.
Right?
No, 95 is bad, but driving to Hartford, 84 is just. Well, it depends on, you know, like if you're driving towards New York, and the closer you get to New York, New Haven, and everything like that, it's just an absolute mess. Same thing with Hartford, Route 84. It is, you know, my drive without traffic to work is about an hour. On average, is about 2 hours. You know, with traffic. Yeah. Sometimes
your fucking back hurts.
Oh yeah, sometimes it could be like there's been times where it's been like 4 hours. I get stuck in because there's multiple accidents and everything is just.
Well, it's because they don't know how to fucking drive.
Yeah,
yeah, they live in Connecticut.
Listen, wait a minute. I got to stop this right now because the four of us are hammering on the producer. This is the guy that actually produces the shows for us, guys.
Hey, he seems like a nice
We're
guy.
supposed to be nice to him.
Right.
I mean,
I'm trying to figure out what part of Connecticut he lives in.
We love Connecticut. Connecticut is great.
No,
I'm over near Mystic. I'm right between the two casinos.
Okay, I have family in Westport. That's why I asked.
Okay.
Yeah, and my whole dad's side of the family's from out there.
Yeah, definitely some nice areas, but yeah, the traffic is terrible.
Yeah,
construction. There's always construction.
Oh,
yeah. Mystic is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's just the driving in Connecticut is horrible.
Yeah, that's why a lot of times it's best just to take the back roads. The back roads are just amazing.
Which one do you want?
So back to Joe.
Actually, before we do that, so for the people watching right now, I'm putting in the comments the new contest for the Canman print. So you can get a jump on entering right now. So there we go. You should have that. I just sent it to everybody.
There you go.
Okay.
So back to my question for Joe. And then your computer or your phone or whatever you're using cut out. How do I get a shirt?
Oh, come see me. I'll take care of you.
Nice.
Just ask me. I got shirts at home.
Nice.
But we should just hook up and have a sesh anyway.
For people who are looking to possibly buy one, though, if you go on our website, www.masscannabischefs.com, they are available in the shop there. So for other people, but I'll take care of you guys.
Well, we'll do a swap with you.
Sweet. I like that. We like swaps.
And for the people that are partaking and can't possibly remember that link, just check the show notes down below or above. I got a link right there. Very easy. Just find it and click.
Yep. And we strongly suggest you guys support them. Especially right now with all the events that have been canceled and everything that's going on in the world. Supporting the locals and the small businesses is what it's really all about.
Yeah, right.
And they got a bunch of cool shit in their website. You got to check them out.
Yeah, we have shirts on there. We have pins, gift cards, all the goods that anyone might want.
Nice.
So it's all available on the website. So right now, what you're seeing me do is assemble the bowls. Pat just went around and infused them all. Right now, I'm adding this garlic shallot oil to the bowls, which already have what we call katsuboshi salt. Katsuboshi salt is essentially toasted bonito flake buzzed in with salt. It just adds kind of like a fishy, briny taste to the bowl, which is very important in Japanese ramen. The next ingredient that I will be adding is what we call dashi. Dashi is essentially a seafood broth, or like a fish broth almost. It uses the bonito flakes again and kombu, which is seaweed. You got it at certain temperatures, resting for a certain amount of time through each step of the process, you infuse the flavor into the dashi, and then the dashi gets added to the bowl before noodles, before broth, before anything, so that it will add, again, more of the briny kind of sea flavor, which is very traditional for Japanese ramen. Generally, here I put about 2 tablespoons of dashi into this bowl for each one of them.
What's that? You didn't have 4 bowls that matched?
No, I don't. I mean,
they're all the plastic ones. So
not
we
as
have nice ones.
not as fancy.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I saw the 3 bowls, and I'm like, "Who's the oddball tonight?"
That's our low dose.
That's a low dose.
So you got like 10 milligrams, 25 milligrams, and the rest of whatever we made was 200. So about 85 a piece.
Yeah, so I'd have that little oddball down the end.
Yeah. And here we have them bringing over. We have some fresh corn, edamame, and scallions. Edamame is not a very traditional ramen topping, but the stores have been limited. And as I was in the store today, I saw it and I was like, yeah, that'll go.
Nice.
Can't wait to see what these noodles look like.
I know, huh?
Yeah.
I've been on keto, so I'm so jonesing for noodles.
Not me, man. I am just like, after watching them prep this and make this through the whole show, I got really hungry, and it's like, well, I know they only live like 10 minutes from here.
Yeah, we're not actually down South Shore right now. We're up in Weymouth right now. But
Okay, so that's only 25 minutes from here.
yeah, it's not far.
Still doable.
Oh, totally doable. I mean, I'm in Halifax.
Oh yeah, you're even closer.
And for noodles, man, I could probably be there in 15.
I don't blame you. I could too.
Now, do you guys make an infused dinner for yourselves every night?
No, not at all. I don't eat that much infused food, to be totally honest.
Okay.
We both usually, I mean, to be honest, there's like I was saying, there's about 85 milligrams in each one of our bowls here. Realistically, neither one of us is gonna feel that much. The reason we started doing dinners at such a high dose and for our friends is just because that's what it takes us to actually feel it. And, you know, to each their own, and everybody's different. Everybody's body processes THC differently. Some people get completely rocked up of like 10 to 20 milligrams, and others won't even notice if they have that.
Gotcha.
Right.
And you're going to tell me you're going to eat all that with chopsticks?
Of course, you have to.
I don't even know how to use chopsticks.
I do. I throw them at people. I say, give me a fucking fork.
We bring those around too.
You had to ask for them though.
Yeah, I know we ridicule you for it. No, I'm just playing. We don't really do that, but who you are. I've seen an Asian lady straight up laugh at a friend of mine when he like had trouble with his chocolates. It was hilarious. He knows how to use them, and she came over because he like dropped something and like asked her if he wanted a fork, and it was the funniest thing.
They sell ones that are like attached in the middle by like rubber bands, like practice ones that you can practice with. So
yeah, no. See, I wouldn't ask for a fork. I wouldn't use the chopsticks. I would just pick up the bowl and slurp it down.
Yeah, and that's another way to do it. When you're eating ramen, you're not eating ramen right.
The bottom of this bowl right here actually says slurp, slurp.
So you just saw us add all of the noodles to all the bowls. I'm now going to add what they would call ryu, which is a spicy chili oil, and just very hot. This stuff is like extremely spicy. I kind of have my own little version of ryu that I make that's a bit hotter than most ryu would be. And yeah.
Hey Jeff, I found something for you.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That is so for me.
Perfect.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. All right, so now I'm about to build my bowls. So essentially at this point, I add all the toppings before the broth goes on. You go, so a little bit of sweet corn, Sweet corn is a very traditional topping, as opposed to the edamame that's going to go on here. That's not a very traditional topping. Sweet corn goes on a lot of different ramen dishes that I've eaten at different places, and on a lot of the ones that I make because I think corn is delicious inside there. Put the edamame right next to it. Just a little scoop, just a little something to put in there. Edamame is actually a very traditional Japanese, used in Japanese appetizers, more so than ever in ramen that I've seen anyway.
Looks like a bean.
It is.
It is. The soybean.
Yeah.
Oh, so why don't you just call it a fucking soybean?
Because it's called edamame.
I'm just being an ass.
Yeah. No, those are edamons. Yeah.
Yeah. Enemas, yes. It's very similar, let me tell you.
Tastiest enema you've ever had.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The most tasty enema you'll ever have in your life. Promise.
What are you adding now?
These are the sauteed mushrooms that are deglazed with a little bit of red wine. Whatever. White wine. Sorry, I thought it was red wine.
I would have normally done red, but I had white. So
there you are.
White again.
Normally, we would use a Japanese mushroom here. We'd probably use a shiitake or enoki or something along those lines. But grocery stores have slim pickings right now, so we're using what we can use and have available to us the best we can, anyway. So I love mushrooms, so I'm going to add a little extra in my bowl. Not for
you can add the ones from my bowl too into yours.
Will do.
You've never had a good mushroom, my friend.
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's mushrooms out there that I guarantee you'd enjoy.
Oh no, it's the texture.
If they're cooked right, then that's not a problem.
Yeah, that's because every mushroom you've ever had, I guarantee you, is cooked wrong.
Yeah, people don't know how to do mushrooms so that they're not all chewy and weird. They're not supposed to be that way.
Oh, we got nori
No,
sheets.
chicken next.
Chicken
Is that
there.
thing hot?
No, here. I mean, it's warm, but
Give me 2 stacks for each of them, please.
What?
2 stacks. The 2-stack diamond formation. Yeah, like that. So now, putting the chicken on. Chicken has got dark soy, light soy. What do we have here? Sugar, salt,
garlic, ginger, some white pepper.
Delicious. Not quite chashu chicken, but close. Chashu is the name of the traditional style of a traditional style of chicken or pork that would go on there that uses soy, mirin, sake, sugar, ginger, garlic. Yeah, lots of different stuff that goes into it. But we didn't have all those things again. Limited offerings at this moment.
Never
You don't have the most bad. There's no reason why I know. All right. Go, Leo. How many ounces is in there, Leo?
Oh, what are those green things?
That's nori, so it's a dried seaweed.
Oh, okay.
Again,
The
to
same-
add more of that fishy, briny character to it.
Same stuff that they wrap sushi in.
Okay.
Exactly. So now I'm going to hit it with broth that has already been seasoned and flavored with the miso and salt. No.
He's like, no.
Yeah, I let people fuck with my stuff while I'm making ramen. That's a pet peeve of mine.
He's like, Pat, back the fuck up.
Yeah.
I will not feed you. No soup for you.
I feed everybody. That's kind of I can't get away from it. It's all I do. But
You probably eat a lot healthier than a lot of people.
you would be surprised. Let me tell you. I don't eat well for myself a lot of times because I don't like to cook for myself at home. It's a pain in the ass to cook for yourself. I don't know if you've ever done it before, but
No, we just all go to the fast food restaurant.
I don't blame you. I'd fucking do it too if I could. So now I'm just gonna make the bowl presentable because we already added some stuff, but the broth kind of displaced a couple things. So yeah, add a little more to make it presentable on the top. A little bit of corn on there. The mushrooms are still very presentable. come in with scallions now at the end. Nice pile of scallions right in the middle.
Which was what Pat was trying to do from earlier. He got yelled at.
The boards that you were hearing as we were doing things earlier, getting ready. Yeah. Get this on. Then we'll come back in with this is crispy garlic that's been just cooked down in oil. We will give a nice hefty sprinkle of that over top.
Nice.
Give that a sprinkle over everything. Good nice sprinkles. Gotta love the garlic. It's very, very delicious on the top here. Sometimes we'll do crispy ginger as well, and that goes really nice on the top as well. And then to finish it all off, we're just gonna come in with a little bit of Goguki Chara chili flakes, right? Oh, whatever. That's the wrong pepper. I'm thinking of a different pepper. And then just a sprinkle of chili flake on the top, essentially. Just because one for color and looks, but also because it's delicious. Cool. And that's a bowl of ramen for you. I'm gonna pick this thing up here. We're gonna pick this up and show you the bowls. Give you a nice little zoom in on those bowls. You see all the ingredients, all the toppings. It's all beautiful and delicious right now.
Wow.
So the big thing with ramen, right, is that it has to be eaten right away, or else the noodles will go to shit. So we're gonna have to run and eat food now.
Yes, you are.
No,
that's great. We want to thank Joe and Pat for coming on tonight and Mass Cannabis Chefs. You know, definitely shoot them, check them out, check out their websites.
Yeah, all the links are down in the show notes. And we were talking earlier, you guys prefer that people reach you through, you like Instagram, people following you on Instagram?
Instagram's our most interacted with social media presence that we have. But you can hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, you go to our website, whatever really floats your boat. I'll respond to most people at my earliest convenience. I'm a very busy man, but I try to get back to everybody quickly.
Very good. We really, really appreciate you guys coming on and doing some magic there.
You tried.
I love it.
It looks amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for having us. This is a lot of fun. It was cool to do this on camera. Never done it like that before. So
nice.
No, we appreciate it. And we won't keep you because we don't want your noodles to go limp.
No, they're already limp. Yes. I don't want it to be too limp.
Yep.
So the message of the show is hashtag no limp noodles and shrink wrap your pickle.
Yep.
Good one, Leo. Good one.
Very well, Leo. Very good. All right. Well, you all know where to follow these great gentlemen. We're going to let them go eat their dinner. Leo.
Yes, sir.
Take us out of here.
Okay, so most importantly, head on over to the show notes down below or up above for all the links for our awesome guests and the guys that still Token with. But every single show is brought to you by the Dorkening Podcast Network. That's me. Head on over to thedorkening.com for all the shows on the network. Over 30 shows on the network right now. And each show is brought to you, sponsored by Deadly Grounds Coffee. The link is in the show notes. Most amazing coffee you'll ever have. I drink way too much friggin' coffee. And for me, just Google Leo Pond. You'll find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. I'm not going to say which is which. Ben.
No. Jeff.
Jeff.
Yeah, follow me on Facebook. That's where I like to be found. Oh, and shout out for my new shirt. Vermont Grow Coaching. We're actually on here somewhere.
Yeah, you got to find. Yeah, no, don't tell them where we are. They got to buy the shirt and find us.
Okay. Yeah, we're on there. That was awesome of Tom to do that for us. Check them out too. Take us out of here, Ben. I'm hungry.
Hey, I thought Leo was taking us out. All right. So, for all our veterans and first responders, we want to thank you for doing what you do every day so people like us can do what we do every day. To all the people out there on the front line, be safe. We love you. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Peace out.
We're out of here.
Lies will buy you a mild acceptance. My free mind will keep me from under your spell. And when we die, you'll be another angel in heaven, but me, I'll be a fucking legend in hell.